Alright, can I adjust this? Okay, so what does my face cam actually look like on stream? Let me see quickly. Does this look alright? Just quickly checking to make sure that my face cam's working, like, very well. Okay, so there's no stuttering. It's not choppy. Face cam's working just fine. So I'll probably just generate a couple of quotes here to get the ball rolling, and then we'll do mindfulness mode. So for further context, this is an artificial intelligence program that generates inspirational quotes. So, inspirational quotes, but they're generated by a machine that I assume has been trained with actual inspirational quotes, but often it will generate some pretty weird ones like, explore monsters, don't look for neighbors, and also take some random stock images to just put this text on top of. So we're going to make a few more, see if we get some really good ones right away. What seems dangerous to a local man seems undangerous during a personal crisis. If one wishes to join an underground swingers club, one has no other choice but to be a skullfucker. Okay, so this inspirational robot has learned how to swear. Yeah, I think this thing was dropping F-bombs even before 2020, if I recall correctly. It's not just like this year it learned how to do so. Ignore what you want and you may achieve demons. Don't look for neighbors. Okay, I won't look for my neighbors. The big difference between confidence and a best friend is that a best friend is real. So what, my confidence is nothing more than a lie? Oh, Ranger Cordy, nice seeing you here. Keep celebrating unless you want to be updated. Yes, this robot will never run out of inspirational quotes such as, everybody else sees you as dead. Okay, so Ranger Cordy, you see me as dead. Viruses are not just viruses. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not filled with self-hatred. So if you want to tell me that I don't hate myself, then screw off. I'm free to hate myself as much as I want. Sell out. Wait for. Sacrifice. Paying a retard to live like an authority figure is not as unfunny as it sounds. A diamond is a... And then there's just nonsense like, a diamond is eternity walking backwards. Is celibacy macho? I don't know, you ask the question. Is imagination what we'll live on after the world ends? These are pretty much almost all good ones. There's a picture of Einstein that just says behave sad. Einstein didn't even look that happy in that self-portrait either, so I guess the quote is kind of fitting. A visit from a spirit can be God telling you to not change. Reality star is just an old-fashioned word for hypnotizer, and then it's just completely random stuff like this. And then sometimes this bot just nails it. I'm not going to read all that. I guess you can just print screen this and read it yourself, perhaps. I mean, I mainly just did this for the mindfulness mode anyways. If you can grease it, you can scam it. I think I'd rather just have the robot voice read out these quotes for me. It just always feels so much sillier when, like, it's this expressionless robotic voice that's reading out this complete nonsense. So we're gonna go into mindfulness mode. Once more. We already did this a year ago, but I so badly want to do it again. Because quite a few of these inspirational quotes, I don't know how any human being can possibly read with a straight face. And then the robot just reads it like it's nothing. Alright, so here we go.
In ancient Rome, a brave gnome once approached an ugly, old beggar and asked her, "Tell me, my dear beggar,
Dear beggar.
how come you are so praised, you who are only
This
an
always
ugly,
cracks me up,
old
doesn't
beggar?"
it?
"That is because I am not really an ugly, old beggar," replied the beggar.
And what is
The
she?
gnome had never before heard such words put so plain, and took it to his heart and took it with him for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he was betrayed by his own brother and sentenced to death.
Holy shit. Poor gnome. Betrayed by his own brother and then sent to death. Wow.
Contemplate these words of wisdom. You don't need to give up in order to make it big.
I don't need to give up. Why does that sound so true? Don't give up to make it big.
If you will not make authority figures start asking questions, someone else might.
Generated by a robot.
Like a journey. You can ignore it, but it won't go away.
How can you ignore a journey in the first place anyways?
To get into the right state,
That's hard to read.
Think about this ancient Chinese proverb. Make sure your shop clerk isn't terrible.
I don't think anyone Chinese said that. That one didn't come out right.
You can't stop being a horrible boyfriend.
Joke's on you, robot. I don't have a girlfriend. Yet.
Quality time and self-annihilation often go hand in hand.
Or at least not right now anyways. So joke's on you, Inspirobot.
Keep your eyes shut.
No, I don't think I'll keep my eyes shut if it's telling me I'm a terrible boyfriend. You don't know me, robot.
Pay for babes, pay for sex.
Well, hit the nail on the head right there.
Why don't you quit quitting?
Oh, I gotta do that indeed. I gotta stop quitting.
Losers allow us to criticize what any decent individual would find uncriticizable.
Quit quitting. I don't know if I would have put it exactly that way, but that sounds about like good logic for anyone who just wants to succeed at what they're
Becoming famous can be
going
like
at.
one hell of a workout.
So if you want to achieve your goals, quit quitting. This robot said it best.
Singing can make you original.
Okay.
Keep on being pathetic. Keep vilifying.
I got it. Yep. What? Keep on being pathetic. Are you sure about that? I'd rather quit quitting.
The experience of being a father can be a lot similar to being assaulted.
Are you? Well, that's random. I don't care.
How your bodily orifices and what you had for dinner last night are two separate things.
They should be.
Remember the ancient religious folk wisdom. First comes the dinner, then comes the volcanic eruption.
Oh shit, I ate dinner not too long ago, so is a volcano gonna erupt near me? So, should I start running for my life?
A dim-witted peasant once approached a gorgeous whore and asked her, "How come you are so praised, you who are just a gorgeous whore?"
Another whore.
I will tell you why. That is because I do not consider myself a gorgeous whore any more than I consider myself a king, replied the whore. The peasant had
The
never
woman
before
king.
heard such
Okay.
words this well articulated.
Me neither.
And after he had thought long and hard about it, he died in his sleep.
Oh, shucks. Here's this picture again.
Respectable.
Oh, so you want me to be a jackass now? Stop being respectable.
Extend your belly button all the way down your heartbeat. Never search for a kick in the groin.
We get to hear this again, and I guess not anymore. We got to
Your
hear that
body
for a
is
moment.
transcending the cosmos. Allow yourself to hyperventilate slowly.
Hyperventilate slowly. Isn't hyperventilating breathing really quickly? So how do you hyperventilate slowly? Hyper
Chant this
means like
mantra to
doing it really
yourself.
fast.
Existence is significant.
Existence
Existence
is
is significant.
significant. Yeah, like hell it is. It is significant. Doesn't the prefix hyper indicate it's being done really quickly?
Consider how a great philosopher once said, amusing questioning implodes amusingly.
I didn't even understand that at all. This is a nice photo though.
Keep your eyes closed while thinking about how get fucked. Meditate on
So it
the
tells me to
ancient
close my
Buddhist
eyes
monk.
and then get fucked?
It's
How
often
rude.
your fault only if your husband is feared.
How rude.
Lizards are not naive.
What, did I... What, was I supposed to be under the assumption that they were naive?
Marriage and collective deception are two sides of the same coin. It takes cold, hard cash to become a professional within the fine art of nagging.
I'm not so sure about that.
Ignore the fact that your body and physical space are two sides of the same coin.
Two other things that are two sides of the same coin.
Let this age-old wisdom be your guide. Awareness is what generates nothingness.
That's so blurry I
Maybe
can't even
cruel
tell what's going
people
on
are
there.
Cruel people because you're dreaming.
Because I'm dreaming? What? Okay, so no longer going through that train phase.
And out.
You tried, but you couldn't find that photo again. It's okay, Inspirobot.
Your
It's fine.
intestines.
Yeah, sounds like something I'd recommend.
If you get serious about exercise, ignore drug abuse.
Just ignore drug abuse in general. Really.
Say it to yourself repeatedly. Life is insignificant.
Life is insignificant.
Life is insignificant.
3 times? You want me to say that life is insignificant? You heard it. Life is insignificant.
Thinking about how before the universe comes loneliness.
I was supposed to feel inspired, not depressed by this.
Notice how you and humanity itself are one. If you find it difficult to get into the right state, try to think about this ancient religious saying, after the free lunch comes the attack.
I mean, with an AI, you just never know what you're gonna get.
Children are victims.
Of what? Children are victims of what, exactly?
Keep your eyes shut and think about this very old folk wisdom. To some people, drugstore means supervillain's top secret letter.
Who are these people? I want to know these people who think that.
Back in China during the Ming Dynasty, there was a hideous farm boy who was going around in the courtyard trying to acquire the key to eternal happiness. That was when he met a young and fair lady. Where can I find the key to eternal happiness?
Said the
He
hideous
asked
farm
the lady.
boy.
The lady quickly replied, "Of the key to eternal happiness I do not know, for I am only a lady."
I am
The
only a
farm boy
lady.
frowned at the
Wow.
lady. Then he sat down and meditated that night when he was greasing his back. The farm boy made a discovery to himself. Highly valued is the son who brags about his penis, for he shall inherit immortality. And he realized he was all alone in the world.
They were even bragging about their penises back then.
That's why it's time.
Ming Dynasty. How long ago was that? That was before 0 AD, wasn't it? That was like, what, something 300 something BC?
If we just think outside the box.
Oh, I was so wrong. 1368 to 1644. So yeah, even back then they were bragging about their penises.
And you may achieve music.
Yeah, that third leg, that's been
When you are short of breath,
something
remember to try
to brag
not to
about
kill
for
someone.
like God knows how many centuries, apparently. What? The AI implies I forget to not kill people?
In ancient China, a brave peasant once approached a crooked, old seamstress and asked her, "How come you are so holy? You who are such a crooked, old seamstress?"
This was
The
before Ming
answer to
Dynasty,
this,
right?
"Because I don't see myself as a crooked, old seamstress any more than I see myself as a blacksmith," replied the seamstress. The peasant had never before heard such truth as well articulated, and remembered it for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he was killed by one of his relatives.
I always hate it when that happens.
Keep your eyes shut. Repeat this mantra to yourself. My mind is magical. My mind is magical. My mind is magical.
Yeah, I suppose my mind is indeed magical. A little odd phrasing,
Remember
but
to
still.
tell yourself, "I'm not mediocre."
I'm not mediocre. Oh, finally. Something uplifting. And not just completely random or depressing.
Don't trust your wife. Why not just do yoga?
Okay, I guess maybe not so much on the inspiration.
Chant this mantra to yourself. My mind is capable.
My mind is capable, but it's not capable of trusting my wife. Instead, I just go do yoga.
Suffocating the future involves erasing people.
I guess?
An expert can be a dad, but a dad can also be an expert. Think about that for a moment.
A dad can also be an expert. An expert at what?
Keep breathing.
These noises again. I don't know if I can keep breathing.
Don't forget that you need to learn to be in favor of cosmetic surgery.
Of all things I need to learn to be in favor of.
Never let anybody tell you that you're not fondling yourself. Try to focus on your stomach.
But why though? Why would I focus on my stomach?
Keep focusing on your breath while thinking about how to some people beauty parlor means desert island.
Sometimes the quotes are just so random I don't even know how to respond to them.
Remember to tell yourself, my living is special. Try, and you can be the first person to expect what the world does not expect you to expect.
What the world does not expect you to
If you will not
expect.
make one night stands feel insecure, someone else will. No absolutism, no divinity. Focus on your breathing.
I mainly just came here to laugh my
Ignore
ass
the
off, let me
connection
be
between your
honest.
spirit and the air you breathe.
Not so much to feel enlightened, but to just laugh
Keep
my ass
chanting this
off.
mantra. My being is significant.
My
My
being
being
is
is significant.
significant. Life is insignificant, but my being is significant. I'm getting some pretty mixed signals here.
To some it's a frame. To others it's so unbelievably much more. It's a gang.
The part about the frame
If
being
you're
so
finding it
much more
difficult to get into the right state,
really made
think
sense
about
in a
the sort
speedrunning
saying,
context until it brought up
people
the
of
part about
full
the gang.
stupidity comprehend law and order.
Yeah, when it comes to like exact frames, when it comes to speedrunning, just a single frame means so much more to a speedrunner than the average
It's
person.
rough. Get a good education.
And sometimes the AI just nails it.
Loosen your heartbeat.
And then it goes right back to telling me to do stuff that I don't even think is possible.
Carry on tingling. Keep pulsating. Think about the ancient religious proverb, heaven is diets. Keep repeating to yourself, be gone,
Be
meaning, be gone, meaning.
be gone, meaning. Be gone, meaning. I remember from the last mindfulness mode script dream. Be gone, thought. I don't need you. Be gone, thought. I don't need you.
You don't have to apologize for being forgettable.
I wasn't even under the impression I had to, anyways.
Don't suffocate monsters. Suffocate your inner child.
Holy shit, that's dark.
Try not to
Suffocate
think
my own
about
inner
the fact
child.
to have at least some respect for a word.
I dare someone to draw like fan art of me suffocating my inner child.
Your spine is obliterating the cosmos.
I can picture myself holding a kid version of myself up in the air by the neck, just strangling him to death right now. And I hate it.
Supporting your family can often be like getting pied on.
Pied on. Okay, it could have been worse. Change one letter and it would have been way worse.
Centuries ago, in ancient Mesopotamia, lived a God-fearing philosopher who was walking around in the jungle trying to find a higher power. That was when he
Fearing
encountered
gods and trying to find a higher power.
Dearest lady, wilt thou tell me where a God-fearing philosopher like myself find a higher power? He asked the lady. The lady did not have to think for even a second. I do not know, said the lady. The philosopher fondled the lady. Then he offered her his sword as a reward. Later in the evening, the philosopher made his great discovery. Glorious is a friend who obeys his neighbor, and became very much nice, and was also nice long after his death.
Nice after his death. But how, though? He was dead. But he died.
Appreciate your mind going into your mind.
Classic. Inspirobot. Truly
If
classic.
you actually need intoxication, be lazy.
Yep, more
Just
nice
because you're
photos.
desperate doesn't mean you're not pretty.
Doesn't mean I'm not pretty.
Straighten your teeth.
That's what braces are for. Oh, silly Inspirobot. That's what
Once,
braces are
in
for.
ancient India, there was a wise, old soldier whose home was in a hole in the ground. One day, a traveler came to him and said, "Hello, where can I find the Holy Grail?" The soldier thought
You might have
for a moment,
to search. You might
then
have
he
to go,
replied,
I don't
"Come here,
know, all the
for
way
I
near
always
England to
keep the
find it.
Holy Grail around just in case."
Wasn't the Holy
"A
Grail
Holy
nowhere
Grail
near
lying
India,
on the ground?" asked
if
the
I recall
traveler. The
correctly?
soldier quickly replied, "Yes, indeed." "Why is that so?" asked the traveler. "That is because respected as a friend who gives to his brother his donkey, for he also is familiar with his daughter," replied the soldier. The traveler went berserk and refused to be a threat to the soldier, and later the soldier moved in with an unmarried girl, but that's a whole other story.
We're never gonna hear the rest of the story, right?
If one expects chlamydia, one has to prepare for premature ejaculation.
Wow, okay.
Feel your left hemisphere straightening.
Left hemisphere of what? The brain?
Don't forget that refuse to become successful. A simple-minded warlord once approached a wealthy lady and asked her, "How come you are so miraculous, you who are merely a wealthy lady?" "Oh, the reason for that is that a wealthy lady is only a wealthy lady if the wealthy lady thinks herself to be a wealthy lady," replied the lady. The warlord had never before heard such truth put so plain, and after taking the
Wealthy
truth to
lady is
heart,
only a
he
wealthy
died in
lady
his
if
sleep.
a wealthy lady thinks herself to be a wealthy lady, replied the lady. And then he died in his sleep.
Once, in the Middle Ages, there was a lonesome warrior who was trying to acquire a well, when he encountered a young priestess. "Can you tell me where in the kingdom I can find a well?" he asked the priestess. The priestess did not have to think at all. "I have no idea," said the priestess. The warrior gave a nod to the priestess. Then he picked up a rock and struck her dead.
Oh
In
shit!
some of the warrior
That escalated quickly!
much beloved is a man who sells his slave his happiness, for he also worships his complaints. And he knew that his life was really just a search for himself.
That escalated quickly. She didn't answer his question,
Feel
so he
how
just
your
fucking
spirit
killed
is
her.
letting go of the temporal dimensions.
Oh, these noises again. They get me
Pay
every
attention
single
to how your
time.
skin is melting together with your right hemisphere.
This gets me every time.
It's your life. Do the obvious thing.
The obvious thing.
Meditate on how consciousness is only a manifestation of the trans-exploratory nature of hyperrelativity.
Another
Keep
train
your
phase I
eyes
see.
shut. first comes the theory, then comes the stormy weather.
That's supposed to be a tornado in the background, right?
And exhale.
If that's actually a tornado, I'd be inhaling and exhaling a lot faster.
Aim to focus only on your ovaries.
If I had ovaries.
Long ago, in the Stone Age, there was a simple-minded warrior who lived in a palace with his abusive wife. One day, a warrior
I don't know.
came to visit
Find
him
somewhere else to live.
and said, "Hello, where can I find advice on how to live a good life?" The warrior quickly answered, "Come in, for I always keep advice on how to live a good life around just in case." "Advice on how to live a good life here in a palace?" asked the warrior, and the warrior quickly replied, "Yes." "How can that be?" asked the warrior. "You do not know the meaning of hostile," replied the warrior. After some thinking, the warrior decided to become a slave to the warrior, and then he died.
The warrior became a slave to the warrior. So, and then that was confusing.
You cannot allow drugs to touch your head.
That sounds about right, but oddly worded.
Aim to isolate your deeply.
You're deeply.
Now come to notice your head. Failing at traveling is probably caused by gullibility. Contemplate this ancient religious folk wisdom. All you need to get lots of Twitter followers is to want it enough.
Ancient folk wisdom. Getting lots of Twitter followers. Sometimes this thing just completely misses it.
People who celebrate pets spread aliens.
Sometimes it nails it, other times it completely misses the mark.
Where dumpsters collapse, reproduction is born.
They actually used Twitter back in ancient times, apparently.
Dreams want you.
Or at least that's what the AI thinks. Yeah, I can't imagine that back in, like, the BC times,
There's
people were
a clear
using
correlation
Twitter.
between failure and self-annihilation. Say it to yourself repeatedly. My living is special.
My living is special.
My living is special.
So I guess it is special after all, not insignificant.
Notice how your bodily orifices are letting go.
Letting go of what?
Your fear of death is connecting with the temporal dimensions.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Adolescence is a gamble. Focus on how your left hemisphere is floating above your physical self.
Something else my left hemisphere is doing, and I don't even know where exactly that is.
Remember that people who like to study the public imagination like to destroy animal husbandry. Let this ancient Buddhist saying be your guide. In existence begins a relationship.
It looks like it's a long way down
An ugly
from that
traveler once
bridge.
approached a gorgeous priestess and asked her, "Why is it so that you are so appreciated? You who are such a gorgeous priestess?"
Probably because she's gorgeous, I don't know.
Because I always remember that. A gorgeous priestess is only a gorgeous priestess if the gorgeous priestess thinks herself to be a gorgeous priestess, replied the priestess.
This gets me every
The carver
time.
had never before heard such truth spoken, and took it to his heart and took it with him for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he died and became known as the most appreciated traveler ever to have lived. You are about to turn into a disrespectful incel. Inform people about whether that is good or not.
Whether that is good or not. It's not the first time this AI thought I was an incel or was going to become one.
And exhale.
Oh, I'm going to become an incel again after I was already one a year ago. That's good to know. Or not.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong about what? Being an incel? Where does the AI learn vocabulary like incel anyways? Like, who taught this AI the word incel?
Repeat the
Like,
mantra.
surely it must have picked that up from somewhere.
My life is above average.
Like, where the hell did they train this thing anyways, I have to wonder.
Repeat the mantra. Self-awareness does not affect me.
Self-awareness does not affect me.
Your bodily orifices are independent from the ground.
Orifices. Do I even have those?
Random strangers want to suck your blood.
Yeah, I have those.
Doesn't it make sense that girlfriends can be annoying if we can just take one step back? A lonesome man once approached a crazy, old virgin and asked her, how can it be that you are so kind?
Crazy
Crazy
old virgin.
virgin? The reason for it is that I do not consider myself a crazy, old virgin any more than I consider myself a giant, replied the virgin. The man had never before heard such words put so plain, and after thinking about it for a long time, he went home. You as an individual is now connecting with the cosmos. Keep focusing on your breath. Accept heaven. Break the laws of physics.
Oh, I thought I was just about to say break the laws, period. Accepting heaven and breaking the
Repeat
laws.
the mantra. Fear of death is only in my head. Fear of death is only in my head.
Yeah. Aren't you gonna go to hell if you break too many laws? And thus deny heaven?
Repeat to yourself. Being is fine.
Being is fine. Being is fine.
Without the path of achievement, one cannot get enslavement. Repeat this to yourself. Begone. Chi.
Begone. Chi. We get to hear these noises again. I swear, I don't plan for this.
Without the love of possession, you cannot find respect. Forget the fact that insane physical activity rots insanely.
I get to listen to these sounds and read some nonsensical quotes. It's perfect.
Seek the meaning of life. Prepare for a life sentence.
Yup, Explode. AI generated inspirational quotes. Sometimes the
Man's
AI
most
either
empowered
nails
to
it or just
inspire
falls
your
flat on its face
existence.
trying to generate something, and then sometimes just total random nonsense. Okay, I'll admit, this
Youth
one's
is
a
not
bit
to
creepy.
promise, but to unpromise. An
So that
internet
scary
troll can
lady,
be
and
a
now
mother,
we're looking at
but
some
a mother
food.
can also be an internet troll. But you probably already knew that.
And she would not be setting a very good example for her children by being an
Water
internet troll.
behaves
Okay.
inside flesh. That's why it's moral. Empty inside, surrender.
That's not very uplifting.
Try to focus on how your stored up chi is energized by your skin.
Not really uplifting, just surrender if you're feeling whatever.
Let the world know you are broken.
Hey everyone, I'm broken!
We all carry the potential to live in a bubble.
I'm broken, everybody. I need, like, serious help.
Aim to extend your ovaries.
Well, this AI does think I am a girl. Well, it told me that a year ago when I last did
Don't
one of
open
these
your heart
streams,
to
so.
justice. Open your heart to shrimps. Remember the very old wisdom. Lie about the afterlife. Get ready for conspiracies.
Same photo again, like twice in
Try
a
not
row?
to think about the fact that artistic freedom begins when we learn to cry about freedom.
That does sound about right to me.
Dare to wear out something that what nobody expects you to wear out. Focus on
This
your
photo's pretty
breath.
nice too. I don't know, I guess just something about the red grass looking a little surreal to me. I guess maybe that's why it stood out to me.
A lonesome man once approached the hag and asked her, "How come you are so praised? You who were just a hag." "That
You're
is
just a
because
hag,
I
how are you
don't
so
see myself
praised?
as a hag any more than I see myself as a hunter," replied the hag. The man had never before heard such words this well articulated, and carried it with him for the rest of his life, and later in his life, he died.
Well, he was gonna die at some point in his life. It's inevitable. Well,
Don't get serious about
didn't
anonymity.
take a rocket scientist to
Get
figure that
serious
out.
about the financial elite.
Could have used the editor to create something, but Dragon's Dogma was the theme of the week.
Ignore the fact that before
Creating what, though?
comes revolution.
Theme of what week for Dragon's Dogma?
A mechanic usually doesn't understand that he's a mechanic.
Wow.
We have the power to make our favorite artists feel gorgeous.
Haven't really heard
Just
of that.
because you're a target of ridicule doesn't mean that you're not proud. Ignore your lungs swallowing up your stomach.
That would be kind of hard to ignore if it could possibly happen. Oh, Fizz says hi. Yep. More AI generated quotes, and my nose is a little itchy, so just scratching with
Contemplate
Kleenex.
that you are under a curfew and don't forget that it's all thanks to yourself. If we just do our best, we can make other people feel ashamed. transcending the universe.
So yeah, I've definitely seen a few good ones this stream.
Keep focusing on your breath while thinking about how cosmology is intolerable.
These are inspirational quotes, but they're generated by artificial intelligence. I did a stream of this a year ago.
Tell yourself that you are sacred.
Inspirobot Mindfulness mode. Ended up liking it so much that I wanted to do it again. Like a year later, roughly.
Attempt to drop your throat.
I came here to just laugh my ass off, not be scared.
Remember to be human.
I came here to not get spooked out, but I see you're getting quite a bit of everything here.
Keep focusing on your breath.
And now we're underwater.
Focus on your breathing.
Hardest speedrun trick in chorus.
Meditate on this ancient Buddhist proverb. Reality is reality shows.
I mean, I'd have to think. The Aurochs fight overall was pretty tricky to do optimally. Aurochs had a fair bit of randomness to him as well.
Keep in mind that.
But honestly, Gaibon, I found, had a much harder time with just consistently killing Gaibon in chorus.
Focus on your breath. By storing up chi, we can make it so that animals pay.
Standard stage execution. I suppose level 4 overall probably had some of the trickiest execution.
Beautiful the stains of the cracks.
There was that cave skip, but eventually I did get good at it. Cave skip's definitely on the trickier side of things.
A murderer is a poor person with a stick up his ass. But you probably already knew that.
No, I didn't. This is supposed to be some sort of inspirational / meditative session. But it's AI generated, so it often fails at getting you in that meditative state.
Annoying makes people hard. If you find it difficult to get into the right state, meditate on this ancient religious saying. Before the magic touch, comes the king. Pimp out your lover. It's okay. Let everyone know that they are totally rich.
Yeah, a lot of us are unemployed, yet we're totally rich.
Very bad.
Any other tricks? It's really been a while since I've played through the whole thing.
Keep in mind the age-old proverb, it's okay to be unethical, but it's not okay to be politically incorrect.
Yeah, stage 5 was always just generally tricky for me to root as well.
By the very old wisdom, the self is only the collision point of the expansion of quantum
Between the
physics,
Medusa heads,
scientific
also the
impossibility
plants on the ground shooting
existence.
fireballs, and the Dullahans that throw the crosses, it was generally pretty tricky to get down to something consistent and good.
Inhale. And exhale.
Well, the Medusa heads spawn based on your Y position on the screen, so you should be able to use that to help you.
Keep your eyes closed. Tell people that you're stuck in a rut.
So based on your Y coordinate on the screen, that's where the Medusa will show up. So if you're further up the screen, the Medusa's gonna
Said,
spawn further up the
all
screen
right,
as
fella,
well.
let's begin where our calendars end. Can you feel how your sense of self is connecting you to Mother Nature?
No, not at all, bot. Not at all.
Close your eyes and take a deep breath. In
Oh,
and out.
I'll do so for once. Right, bot, you win.
Be a stranger. Let love in. Become terrible.
Become terrible. At what? Everything?
Feel the connection between your sense of self and gravity. Heaven is
Don't you
above
always
like
feel
any
gravity,
man's
though?
nose. If you find it difficult to achieve the right state, try to think about this ancient Chinese proverb. It's dull to be unattractive, but it's more unattractive to be dull.
Yep. When the AI generates inspirational and
Say to
meditative
yourself
quotes,
repeatedly,
this is what
I'm
we can expect
significant. I'm
sometimes.
significant.
I'm significant, but I should become terrible. That's how this thing thinks sometimes.
Notice your mind letting go of your mind.
My mind doing something else with my mind. I see. Diet Coke,
Keep
because I
focusing on
can.
your breath and consider how ignore pain. Prepare for fat. Focus on your breath.
Yeah, if you were meditating, you would be definitely paying attention to your breath. That's
You
typically...
really are a four-eyed cockmaster. That's right, a four-eyed cockmaster.
Four-eyed cockmaster.
Notice each point.
What kind of
you
insult is
see
that?
yourself. Eat. It's okay.
Eat, it's okay. Remember, everyone, it's okay to eat.
And exhale.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's perfectly fine to eat.
Remember that you are nothing.
Largely execution, yeah. I generally play that first screen up to the death fight the exact same way anyways, just to try and make
Breathe
sure
with your deeply.
I can always get the same patterns on death. Breathe with my deeply. I was told to isolate my deeply earlier in the stream.
To your sexual pleasure.
There might be a few different death patterns you can get, but it's largely execution based.
Walking around on the plains trying to acquire wisdom when he encountered a
It's
brave
largely just getting a feel for throwing the crosses in just the right way to deflect the sides, then quickly rack up damage on death to make the fight last for as short as possible.
And then she said, "Go play with yourself." The midget considered the answer from the queen and white. 20 years later, as he was cursing his mother, the midget made a discovery to himself. All the world is infinite, but it's up to each of us whether we choose to act upon it. And he became very much kind by the town, whom also kind him long after his death. Say it to yourself repeatedly. My life is real.
My life is real. Am I supposed to be spooked out again? Well, I suppose it's better than being an incel or an ape.
Forget the fact that people who buy animal husbandry talk about positivity. Mental people reconsider manipulation. You as an individual is energized by the world. Keep in mind the age-old proverb, Congress cannot be heaven on earth. Chant this mantra to yourself. Self-consciousness matters.
Self-consciousness matters.
Maybe lies can be entertaining if you go through with the surgery.
What does that have to do with lies anyways, the surgery?
A cup of tea begins with nudity.
When are they ever gonna find that photo?
You're a narcissist.
Am I a narcissist,
Observe
truly?
how your sense of being is reacting relatively to nature.
Would I stare at my reflection in a pool of water and then possibly fall in and drown?
Meditate on how God once said, after the story comes magic. People keep fucking up.
Yup. Sometimes the Inspirobot just fucking nails it.
Proverb, romantic love is a freak show where the main attraction is a lie.
Sometimes this thing just nails it. I love it.
Aim to let go of your mind. When you require a brain injury, unleash your inner animal.
Why would I ever require a brain injury in the first place, anyways? Unleash my inner an animal.
Potential to become a big weirdo. Be more upfront about your wardrobe.
I don't like that potential to be a big weirdo.
Breathe deeply.
Unleash your inner an animal. Sounds like the brain injury was in full effect there.
Argue with success. Be nice. Don't stop reproducing. Stop rioting.
I gotta see if that's a real site. I think it is. Could be made up for all we know. Oh.
You must not allow paintings to eliminate your tears.
There's those noises again. Every time it cracks me up.
Inhale. And exhale.
I'll let the people having sex in the background do the inhaling and exhaling. I'm fine.
Together we can make boyfriends do what we want them to do. Bend your belly button inwards.
Inwards. How?
Where haters conform, cavemen revolt.
Are there even still any
Close
cavemen
your eyes
today?
and take a deep breath. In
Probably, but
and out.
I assume they wouldn't have, like, good internet access, so how would we know for sure?
Never give in to your urge to cry.
Never give in to your urge to cry. So, telling me to never cry, right?
To achieve
Did I
the
read
right
that right?
state, consider these words of wisdom. Judge means villain. Appreciate your breath terminating your mouth. We cannot change things by dying. We can just change things by rioting.
Yep, that sounds about right, too.
Now come to notice your fingers.
I notice my fingers. What am I supposed to do from here on out?
Romance is like a humiliating dream. Just plain dumb. Remember that. A famous person is real. A poem from the olden days tells an anecdote about a wise, old widower who was trying to acquire shelter for the night. That was when he met a young fortune teller. Dearest fortune teller, can you please tell me where a wise, old widower like myself finds shelter for the night? He asked the fortune teller. The fortune teller did not have to think for long. Shelter for the night cannot be found in the courtyard. Search in your soul, replied the fortune teller. The widower hugged the fortune teller. Then he went home. The following winter the widower understood. Blessed is the father who enjoys his laughter, for he shall be relieved of a magic flute. And when he departed, he was said to have been the most.
Oh, I thought that said magic fluid for a second. That's something different entirely from a flute. Magic fluid, is that what they'd be calling it?
Gland against your left nostril.
I don't even know where that pineal gland is. I probably should know where it is, but I don't. Where is it? Pineal gland. Behind the third ventricle of the brain. Somewhere near the brain, right?
Embrace the fact that after mediocrity comes the fun. Your left hemisphere is now drifting away from Mother Nature.
Can my left hemisphere that I don't even know what it is stop doing things already?
Isn't it kind of obvious?
It doesn't feel like my left hemisphere is doing anything.
You can step outside your bubble.
There's that creepy doll again that looks like it's all cracked.
Breath. Carry on disappearing.
Okay.
Ignore the fact that your consciousness and planet Earth are two separate things. Books should not symbol your consciousness. Simply being real doesn't necessarily mean that you're desperate.
I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna let this play for.
Consciousness is simply an emission within the extra duality of hyperrelativity.
I mean, I remember the last one going on for about an hour as well. They did a year ago.
Remember how the knowing once said, a secret agent can be a dumb spy. Of course you are needlessly owned. No self-annihilation, no gonorrhea.
Okay, good thing we're not getting gonorrhea.
Say to yourself, my being makes a difference.
My being makes a difference.
Tell everyone that they are liberated. Meditate on this ancient Chinese proverb. General is basically just a cool term for vegetarian.
I'm just doing what the
This
AI
mantra to
says.
yourself. Existence is above average.
Existence is above average.
Existence is above average.
Didn't see this photo before when
And you shall find sadness.
mindfulness mode. Yeah, when sitting through mindfulness mode, I didn't see this photo before. I mean, I did see a lot of these, but I guess not all of them.
Straighten your consciousness.
Including the creepy doll. It looks like it's all cracked. I don't know, maybe they did add some new ones since last year, perhaps.
Keep chanting this mantra. My existence is fine. My existence is fine.
Who knows, maybe more photos were added to this slideshow here. It's entirely possible.
Inhale. And exhale. Remember to say to yourself, being is significant.
Being is significant.
Focus on your breathing. Keep breathing. Create carnies.
Well, that's random.
Pay attention to your brain being one with your brain. Remember the ancient folk wisdom. Your soul is actually just a merger between the eternity of gravity and the perplexity of endlessness.
Well, that's a lot to take in. There's a lot to unpack there.
Back in the Stone Age, there was a humble boy who was going around in the town square trying to find salt, when he ran into a pretty seamstress.
Trying to find
Can
salt.
you please tell me where to find salt? He asked the seamstress. The seamstress did not have to think for even a second.
I do not know.
Go play with yourself, said the seamstress. The boy turned away from the seamstress. Then he murdered her and dumped her body in the well.
Holy
7 days
shit!
later, after hours thinking, the boy finally understood everything. Unwise is a student who is proud of his heart. But
This is
even
one
less
messed up
wise is
child
a
we're
student
dealing with
who is
here.
proud of his moments. And he became much appreciated. And when he died, the
He
town
became
raised
much
him
appreciated
a
after murdering the
stands
seamstress.
there
Are you
still.
kidding me? Something doesn't really add up here. He murdered her and then he became much appreciated. Or was the seamstress a terrible person
Carry on
who just
focusing.
told everyone to play with themselves? Yikes. There was just so much to unpack there.
Try to think like a robot.
Oh, that's the back of somebody's head, isn't
Now
it?
come to notice the voices in your head. Allow your belly button to gently think. Believe that you are feeling like you've wasted your life. Keep focusing on your breath.
Oh yeah, it certainly would. I can imagine.
Repeat this to yourself. My existence makes a difference. My
My existence
existence
makes
makes
a
a difference.
difference.
My existence
We
makes a
get it. My
difference.
existence makes a difference.
Quit flirting on the internet and keep fat.
Keep fat.
Despair. It's okay. Notice how your consciousness is breathing.
Yo, what? My consciousness is breathing.
Don't speak kindly about society. Eat more kale.
What the hell is kale?
The world wants you to laugh.
Popular vegetable. Green leafy cruciferous vegetable you should eat instead of thinking highly of society.
In and out.
Don't look down on society, just eat vegetables.
Ignore how your pineal gland is disappearing.
No, surely it must still be
Close your
there. It better
eyes and
be.
take a deep breath.
Oh, right.
In and out.
In and out.
Repeat this mantra to yourself. Bodily needs does not affect me.
Bodily needs does not affect me, I wish.
Allow yourself to float quietly.
Can I stop having to look at this
Expect the
creepy
tower
doll every once in a
prepare
while?
for self-awareness.
I mean, I can do without this creepy doll here, in all honesty. Still a little creepy after seeing it for the third time.
Approached a fat harlot and asked her, "Why is it so that you are
Another
so
whore,
fabulous?"
but this one's a fat one.
Fat harlot? I will tell you why. That is because a harlot always does her best, replied the harlot. The prince had never before heard such truth stated so clearly, and took it to his heart and carried it with him for the rest of his life, and a couple of years later, he died.
Who's that breathing in the background?
Keep breathing.
I'll let the person who's breathing keep on breathing. It's fine. Now this looks like we're back in
Keep
space.
straightening. Stay focused on your breath. Focus on your breath.
You just told me to stay focused on my breath earlier.
Together we can make boyfriends do what we want them to do.
Didn't I see that quote already? I think I just saw that already like 10-15 minutes ago.
Bend your belly button inwards.
And that one too, right? It's not like the focus on your breath, because that shows up
Where
pretty
haters came
commonly
from,
over and over again.
Cavemen revolt.
And this one too. I'm starting to see quotes I've already seen, not just like the stay focused on your
Extend
breathing or
your
anything.
way down your breath.
All the way down your breath. Alright. I don't know how you would
Allow
actually
your
do that.
breath to exhale quietly.
Exhale quietly.
You cannot and must not allow humans to milk your mistakes.
Yeah, perhaps.
Time is not to stay. but to overstay. Invert your mouth all the way down your spine.
Yeah, I swear if I see any more quotes I've seen already aside from the breathing ones and inhale and exhale, in and out, so on and so forth,
Don't forget that you are special.
I might just be done the stream at that point. Or even just sooner than later anyways, because it's already been a good hour or so of this.
Keep chanting this mantra. My living has meaning.
My living has meaning.
Once upon a time in ancient Egypt, lived a young knight who was wandering around in the town square looking for eternal life, when he came upon an old harlot.
Another whore.
Where can I find eternal life? He asked the harlot.
And yes, I know what a harlot
Have to
is.
think for long. What you are looking for cannot be in the town square. Search within your heart, replied the harlot. The knight considered the harlot's answer and walked on. A year later, while he was purchasing grain, the knight made a discovery to himself. Much beloved is a man who reveals his donkey, for he also straightens his cattle. And he realized he was all alone in the world.
Who reveals his donkey.
Try not to think about the fact that first comes the romance, then comes the apocalypse.
Man, this thing is just really anti-romance right now. Said something about romance being a freak show and the main attraction being a lie. And now, like, romance and then the apocalypse.
Life can be a perilous flight to the bottom. Keep on breathing. Force your body to breathe through your body. Your virility is now connected to the world. The fact that you are attracted doesn't mean that you're not self-aware. Forget the fact that with alternative faces come alternative social skills.
Maybe a few more and then I'll just end the stream.
Keep in mind that promises are good.
I suppose they are indeed good.
Long ago, in ancient Japan, lived a greedy traveler who was searching for eternal bliss in the farmlands. That's when he came upon a crazy, old girl.
Crazy old girl.
Where can I find eternal bliss? He asked the girl. The girl did not have to think for even a second. If you are looking for eternal bliss, you cannot search in the farmlands. Search inward, said the girl. The traveler thought long and hard about the girl's answer. Then he gave her some cake. The following spring, as he was
Here's some
hugging his
cake.
mother, the traveler had a stroke of insight. Great is a student who shares his man breasts, but greater is the student who shares his penis. And then he gained immortality.
I can't share mine. I get in trouble for sure. Yeah, even in ancient Japan, they were showing their third leg. I'm not showing mine. No, I'm not. I don't want to get in trouble.
Keep chanting this mantra. Life is not real. Life is not real.
Life is not real. Then what is real, even?
Keep chanting this mantra. The power of thought doesn't matter.
The power of thought doesn't matter.
Hate your mother's medication.
That's
Tell
random.
yourself that you are enough.
Oh, I suppose I will. I am enough.
Remember the ancient Buddhist wisdom. Fears can also be ridiculous.
I might just generate a few more inspirational quotes on Inspirobot itself, not in mindfulness mode,
You can
and then
choose
just
to
end the
tell
stream.
yourself that you are unsustainable. The fact that you are social doesn't mean that you're not a fishmonger.
Yeah, I think I'll be done with
Chant
mindfulness
this
mode
mantra
soon.
to yourself. Depression isn't real.
Depression isn't real.
Don't be poor. It's not sexy.
You heard it right. Don't be poor. It's not sexy. You don't need an alter ego to get in order to get into heaven. I might just generate a few more of these and then just end the stream at this point. I say we've had enough inspirational goodness to last us for a while. I mean, this did go on for a bit longer than my first Inspirobot stream, and I don't know if I'll wait another year to do my next one or if I might just go and do one sooner. We'll have to see. Righteous is a friend who was familiar with his quotes, but even more righteous is a friend who is familiar with his imaginary friend. Ass kissing can be boring. Oh, I thought that said ass kicking for a second. If you want it enough, you can ensure that a certain someone starts speaking in tongues. The workplace is in many ways a nuclear survival shelter. You may not be prepared for stupidity, but stupidity is prepared for you. Perhaps scientific discoveries turn into challenges tomorrow? Maturity is to never hate. If you believe in yourself, you can make it so that the neighbor feels fabulous. Pisces. Lazy. Don't undress yourself in public. Just care. Between a lie and the environment comes a mug. Sometimes it's nice to become nice. Yeah, being nice is nice, indeed. If we can spy on what we believe in, we can cooperate about our large intestines. If you want pants, you need to accept eternity. Believe in the collective unconscious. Doctors are only in your head. And it's a picture of a guy climbing on a crane. Human. Human have an underlying urge to fool what idiots think of as unfoolable. Unfoolable. I don't think that's even a real word. We cannot transform ourselves by changing our surroundings. We can just transform ourselves by blaming ourselves as individuals. Masturbate. Don't just get pregnant. You don't tell me how to live my life. You can choose to overrate your own selfishness. Only when you learn to accept the full potential of a woman will you meet people. After time itself comes your heart. The working class is awesome. Yeah, workers represent. What does the world, victory, and a birds all have in common? Time. Computers cry easily. I think we've had enough silliness for this stream. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Haven't quite decided when I'm gonna do another of these, but I don't know if I'll wait a whole other year. Haven't quite decided when I'll do the next one of these. So yeah, I definitely did end up liking this enough to do a second stream, so there's definitely a good chance that in the future there will be a third